So if you're thinking about buying property in Southwest Florida, chances are you have some questions. When's the best time to buy? Should I rent first? How am I going to get my stuff there? What kind of financing I'm going to use? And am I going to be able to fly down there and look at the property before buying it? Or will I have to make a decision just based on a virtual showing? With this video, I'm going to help answer some of those questions. My name is Chloe Shook, and I'm a local realtor here in Southwest Florida. This channel is all about what it's like to live here, some of the best resort-style communities, things to do around the area, and more. So if that sounds like useful content to you, please make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you can get an alert next time I post a video. Now this video is just going to be about some of the frequently asked questions that I hear most often, but you might have a question that's more specific to your scenario. And if you do, please make sure you reach out to me. You can call, text, email, message me on social media. I would love to hear from you. Now, before you buy a property here, especially if it's your first time in Naples, I would absolutely recommend renting something for a few months. There are a ton of seasonal rentals around here, so it's really easy to find a place that you can rent for just a few months, and most of them come furnished. Now, if you decide to come here in the summertime, that's our off season. So chances are you're not going to find a ton of new listings during that time, but you will save money on your monthly rental price. This is not necessarily a bad idea, especially if you're looking to be in a resort style community. The reason is that if you're looking for that type of lifestyle, really what you're focused on is the community. So you can still visit those communities and see what their amenities look like. In any given community, there's only a few different styles of homes that you can have in there. So once you know which communities you like and what style of home you're looking for, what's in your price point, you should be able to make a relatively quick decision from there. If you visit in the summer and the home that you want ends up popping up in the wintertime, you might be able to just decide that that's what you want without actually having to come back down here. Now, the other downside to coming here in the summertime is that you're not going to get a really good idea of what that community looks like when it's at full capacity in the season. You won't necessarily know how many people usually are at the pool during the day. What's the commute like? It might be a little hard to figure that out if you come this summer. Now you might be wondering, should I sign for 3 months? Should I sign for 6 months? How long is it going to take to find the property that I want? And that's all going to depend on your budget and what your criteria is. And those are a couple of things that we can talk about once we have your buyer's consultation. And now let's talk about financing. The most popular option around here is cash or some form of cash, whether that be a home equity line of credit or cash that you pulled out after doing a cash out refinance on an existing property. If you're only going to be here for part of the year, you may consider using a second home mortgage or an investment loan, especially if you're going to be renting it out. Now, the only downside to these two options is that when compared to your regular conventional loan for a primary residence, you're going to have to put more money down and you may get a higher interest rate. If you're relocating here altogether and you're looking to use financing, the best option would probably be to do your regular conventional loan for your primary residence. This is going to give you the lowest down payment options as well as the lowest interest rate. But you do need to establish some form of income that is local to the area. If you have more questions about financing that are specific to your situation, feel free to reach out to me and I would be happy to get you in touch with a local mortgage lender here that knows all of the different programs that are specific to our area. Now, unless your new home came furnished, chances are you're going to want to move some stuff down here. There's a few different options for that. You could use a professional moving company. You could use a pod or one of those U-boxes from U-Haul, or you could rent a truck and drive your stuff here yourself. You end up hiring a professional moving company. It's going to depend on a number of different factors. How far you're moving it, what time of year you're moving, and how much stuff you have. In general, I've seen anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000. Before hiring a company, definitely make sure that the company that you're hiring is not just a moving broker that's going to give the job out to another moving company. Make sure you are scheduling with the actual company that's going to be moving your stuff. I have heard so many horror stories of somebody scheduled a moving company, and then when the actual movers got there, they said that they couldn't still do it at that price and the timing didn't work out the same. So please make sure you do your research. Now, if you just have a couple of larger items that are really important to you, you might want to look into using a pod or a U-box. This is where you essentially put your stuff in a large container and the company ships it to you. This will be less expensive than hiring a full-service moving company, but a little bit more expensive than renting a truck and driving it yourself. Again, depending on how far you're going and how much stuff you have. When I moved here, I decided to rent a truck and drive my stuff down. This is the only way to be in full control of where your stuff is at and who else's stuff is with your stuff. This was the option that I felt most comfortable with. I will say that bringing less is usually better. Chances are you're going to want a different style of decor in your new Florida home anyway. Like I said, most of these questions do not have a one-size-fits-all answer, so the best way to get your questions answered would be to reach out to me directly. You can call, text, email, message me on social media. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.